Welcome back. Prime Minister Alan Shastny has joined the director of the Pan American Health Organization in condemning the spread of misinformation surrounding vaccines. Prime Minister Shastny, like the PAHO director, says this is a serious threat to public health, particularly as some St. Lucians are not only anti-vaccination, but are also averse to going to hospital.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to evolve, the global public health risk remains very high. The resurgence in the last 4 months is driven by the emergence of the SARS-CoV-2 variants of concern and inconsistent use of public health and social measures. While St. Lucia notes a decrease in new cases diagnosed, reduced number of people with respiratory illness, reduced admissions at the respiratory hospital, and reduced numbers accessing care at the clinics, health officials have advised that COVID-19 still remains a threat. Prime Minister Shastny says this is so, as some in society continue to listen to false information surrounding COVID-19. He shared the sentiments at a recent initiative for COVID infection prevention among MSMEs.
COVID remains an issue here in St. Lucia. We still see on a daily basis numbers of cases. While the numbers have come down significantly, we have certainly not eliminated COVID from our borders. And as we had initially anticipated, that given the high level of non-communicable diseases that we had in St. Lucia, particularly hypertension as well as diabetes, that many of our members of our population would be vulnerable to COVID. And when you combine that with the fact that we have the same way that we say that we have anti-vaxxers, we also have people who are anti-hospitalizations, meaning there are people who get sick and are fearful to go and see a doctor and go and get medical attention. And certainly if you have an underlying condition and you contract COVID and you wait too long, it makes any form of recovery very difficult. And sadly, even in the early days, there are indications that there will be many lingering side effects of persons who are vulnerable and who've contracted COVID. And so that we must continue to do everything we can to minimize the spread of COVID in our country.
PAHO Director Dr. Carissa Etienne says it is imperative that people take the COVID-19 vaccine to bring cases under control, and notes the challenges with anti-vaccination messages.
Because unreliable information spreads quickly, PAHO is collaborating with tech companies like Twitter, Google, and Facebook to address fake news and to ensure that the public can easily find accurate information. But we all have a role to play in stopping these rumors from spreading online or in conversations. When we read or hear something that seems outlandish or impossible, it probably is. Before sharing something, we owe it to each other to check the source and confirm that the information is true. This is only common courtesy. And if you have a doubt, please don't spread it.
The director is concerned that the Americas is experiencing setbacks due to the pandemic and highlights the tragic milestone of more than 3 million deaths from COVID-19, nearly half in the Americas. She says it is a reminder that we must do more to protect each other at this very critical stage.
Cases in Canada are still growing, particularly among young people in their 20s and 30s. And in the United States, infections are on the rise after weeks of declines. Nearly every country in Central America is reporting a rise in infections. Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic continue to drive most infections in the Caribbean. And many smaller island nations like Aruba, Bermuda, and Curacao are reporting a rise in COVID-related deaths. The recent volcanic eruptions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have led to evacuations, with thousands of people currently living in shelters. More than 137 COVID cases have been reported in shelters thus far, and we expect more new infections in the coming weeks. In South America, cases are accelerating in Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia, and Uruguay. Argentina has also seen a rapid growth of new infections and has assumed the third highest case count in our region.
In the last week alone, the Americas has reported more than 1.5 million new cases and nearly 40,000 deaths. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
St. Lucia joins the rest of the Americas in celebrating the 19th Vaccination Week in the Americas under the theme Vaccines Bring Us Closer, Get Vax. This year's theme brings into focus how vaccines can bring people closer by keeping them healthy and ensuring that diseases remain at bay. The COVID-19 pandemic has challenged the Caribbean region and the rest of the world, affecting us from all dimensions and causing people to interact in different ways. Immunization Manager Tekla Jabatis says that as the Department of Health and Wellness reflects, it is noted that St. Lucia has come a long way from where it was this time last year.
Although we are still in the pandemic, significant steps have been made towards achieving the normalcy which was stripped away from us as a result of COVID-19. Several clinical trials were underway towards a vaccine or vaccines that could protect us from COVID-19 and its complications. Today, we have safe and effective vaccines which have developed and distributed across countries and continents.
Jabatis notes that while the focus is on COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccines in the battle against the pandemic and aiming for population immunity, we should also remember the importance of regular vaccination programs.
It is of utmost importance to ensure that the immunization status of our loved ones, especially the little ones, is up to date. Vaccines have been proven to be the best way to prevent and protect us from various infectious diseases. Citizens and residents of St. Lucia, you are encouraged to continue accessing the health services available to you. In keeping with COVID-19 protocols, please contact your healthcare provider for an appointment.
St. Lucia has administered over 24,000 first doses and over 1,000 second doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to date. The St. Lucia Tourism Authority is celebrating nominations for St. Lucia in the 28th Annual World Travel Awards. The island is no stranger to the global initiative to recognize and reward excellence in travel and tourism, and the island is eager to add more to its list of accolades. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
St. Lucia is keeping its eyes on the prize this year with hopes of walking away from the 28th Annual World Travel Awards with multiple wins, adding to the already long list of accolades attached to the island's name. St. Lucia has been nominated for 6 prestigious titles, namely Caribbean's leading adventure tourism destination, Caribbean's leading cruise destination, Caribbean's leading destination, Caribbean's leading luxury island destination, Caribbean's leading nature destination, and Caribbean's leading honeymoon destination 2021. The World Travel Awards is a global initiative to recognize and reward excellence in travel and tourism. Travel industry professionals and consumers worldwide are invited to cast their votes for travel brands that they consider to be the very best in the world. The nominee gaining the most votes for an award would be named the winner. The public relations manager for the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Jeraine Georges, said the island is looking forward to winning big this year.
The 2021 nominations, of course, St. Lucia is eager to add more titles to her prestigious list of accolades. And as we know, in 2009, the destination captured the title of Caribbean's leading travel personality, and from 2009 has continuously won the title of Caribbean as well as world's leading honeymoon destination, with the most recent honor being in in 2020. And of course, all of the efforts made towards the advancement of the destination, we do recognize this as a collective. And so we really want to thank our travel and tourism professionals and our consumers worldwide for really recognizing St. Lucia as a mecca of the industry. And we are very optimistic that new titles would be attributed to St. Lucia in 2021.
Georges said the island is also vying for the title of the island's best in a number of other categories.
Service providers across St. Lucia have also been nominated for several prestigious Caribbean titles, and that includes Caribbean Leading Boutique Resort, Caribbean Leading Destination Management Company, and Caribbean's Leading Honeymoon Resort. And several are also vying for titles of the island's best, and that is St. Lucia's Leading Car Rental Company, St. Lucia's Leading Beach Resort, St. Lucia's Leading Hotel, St. Lucia's Leading Resort, St. Lucia's Leading Destination Management Company, St. Lucia's Leading Tour Operator, and St. Lucia's Leading Travel Agency. Now, you must register to vote, and voting is now open through August 2nd, 2021 on the World Travel Awards website. Voting is easy. They are listed by country as well as by the various categories. And so this is very easy.
The World Travel Awards Grand Final ceremony will take place on October 12th in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Stay with us. There's more news after the break.